everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. And we acknowledge you, dear God, as the one who holds all this together. We acknowledge, dear Father, that you are the creator and the sustainer of the very universe in which we live. And you see all, you know all, and your presence is felt by all. We're mindful, dear God, of your spiritual truths that are designed to mature us in faith. So we pray, Father, that we have a laser beam focus on the faith. That we not be tossed to and fro by all the different doctrines that float around today. Even as you cautioned your disciples about the leaven or the teachings that were designed to water down and substitute your divine truths. Help us to be discerning, that we may earnestly contend for the faith. That we be not tossed, that we be settled in our hearts and in our conviction, and that those convictions are anchored in the truth of your word. That we, the Lion Street Church, might emerge as a powerful testimony and witness and convincing proofs that Jesus did indeed die, was buried, and rose again the third day, declared to be the Son of God with power through the resurrection. Help us to communicate that in a way that shows the distinctive nature of the church. That we don't blend in with everybody just for the sake of getting along and compromising. That we maintain the distinctiveness of the New Testament church. We stand for the truths and the principles therein. Now, Father, we know that on this side of life we are stricken with grief and sorrow from time to time. And our hearts are mourning for the loss of our brother Earl Bishop. We're praying for his wife and children. We're praying to God that you will sustain them and encourage them and give them all the grace that they need to keep them and to guard them and to build them up in the most holy faith. They will be supported physically, that they will be nurtured spiritually, so that even in the gut-wrenching loss of a husband and father, they're able to see you more clearly, knowing that you've always been the great provider. You've always been the rock on which we are to lean. And we're praying to God for the health of our beloved brother, Stephen Hill. Visit him in his moment of weakness physically. Imbibe him with power and strength, that he would be strengthened in the inner man, that he never loses his hope and his grip on the reality that you are God. And you rule and reign all by yourself. And you are the one who's able to do all things well, and help him to keep his hand and his trust in you. And help us as the congregation to rally around his wife and family. Help us to be a support system to them. And we thank you, dear God, for just blessing us and giving us the mind to have a degree of spiritual discernment. But we offer this prayer to you that you will increase our understanding. Continue to sharpen us so we will be able to recognize all the schemes and all the wiles of the devil. Whenever he rears his ugly head, help us to recognize so that we may defeat him on every turn. Help us to love one another. Help us to have one another's best interests at heart, so we may support and edify and build up and comfort one another. Yes, and even admonish one another when appropriate. But help us to understand that rebuke and admonition comes out of the fountain of love. So we thank you for this congregation and all that you're doing for us, that we may do more in the community in which you have planted us. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen. God bless you. You may be seated. Thank you very, very much